Well, it's been a couple years since I've done a video on this car, on this project I picked up. It was about 10 years ago or so. It's been sitting for longer than that. I personally have had it apart for the last 4 years, and now it's going back together. As you can see, I've already got the rear end done. So let me just cut in real quick here. Show you what I did that I didn't record. Basically, I started cleaning the entire underside of the car, starting with the rear end, revealed all those nice factory paint markings on it, and noticed that the rear brake line was pinched, which is why I ordered the entire kit. Just started with the rear and just did all new stuff. I changed out the disgusting fluid that was in the rear end, which has probably been in there since the late 90s when the car was taken off the road. Did the rear brakes, shoes, drums, hardware, wheel cylinders, axle seals, and a new pinion seal. And started painting the rear end, put it all back together with newly painted leaf springs, all new polyurethane bushings. And here's the rear braided line that came in the kit that I installed once I had the rear end in the car. And here's the brake line, installed new wheel cylinders. And here's the front subframe, also installed with polyurethane bushings that came in a kit that came with the car when I bought it. Finished interior, underneath, patched some rust. But today, working on the front brakes. So it's getting all new calipers, rotors, pads, bearings, seals, dust caps. It's replacing this old stuff that came with the car that I'm not trusting all that much. I also got a new set of brake lines, just a factory replacement set to replace the old ones that were in good condition, but again, just not going to trust it. And then when you order brake lines, of course, they come bent to fit in the box. I'll show you what kit I got here. It's F1006, and it comes with F1005R for the rear and F1000F for the front. That's from the Stop Shop through Summit, of course. Yeah, about let's see, about $200 all said and done with a stainless steel hose kit. I already have the one installed in the rear. I have the brake lines installed on the rear axle, so it's got to run the new brake line. From there, you can kind of see where the hoses dip down all the way to the front, and kind of take apart the old lines here and put the new ones in. That should be easy, but first, brakes. Start by getting this thing off the ground and dropping the calipers on the floor. That's fine, they're cores anyway. Of course, none of those are tight. Things just barely together. As you can see, the caliper is already off. So you pull the rotor off and then put bearings in a new one, put it all back together. Easy. Because the backing plate wasn't on, but the rotor was. And that one didn't have a cotter pin holding it together. This side does. There we go. There, easy. Ah, go. Garbage can over there. No, okay. We'll save you then. You get to live. All right. Sure that this nut is really loose. Oh yeah, finger tight. Now, I've never had these brakes off before. So we're going to find out together why this nut's coming off like trash. Please tell me this spindle's not wrecked. Alright, we're gonna need a little crescent wrench action here. Did I grab too small of a crescent wrench? Yes, I did. Cool. Let me get a bigger one. Alright. Bigger nut, bigger wrench. There we go. Yeah, it seems like all kinds of choppy. Threads look okay though. Yeah, it's fine. We're going to use that. Alright. See how these bearings look. Oh yeah. Spindle looks beautiful. Now, just like the other side, there's not a whole lot of grease in that bearing. It feels okay. We're going to replace these anyway. Save the washer, of course. Put that with the old dust cap and nut. And this thing is going in the trash. I'm not going to throw this though. I'm just going to gently place it somewhere. Brand new shiny brake vest rotors from O'Reilly. Races are already installed. So we'll just have to pop some bearings in after we grease them up and slam in some seals, and we're good to go. I don't have a fancy grease packing tool, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. And feed. Grab a seal. Push that extra grease right back in there. Pour all in there. Looking good. Nice and flat and flush. Alright. We'll grab a pair of gloves so we can slide that outer bearing on when we put the rotor on. Alright. Where'd that washer go? Oh, there it is. I'm going to clean the old mystery grease off of this washer before we put it all together. I guess some grease off of the threads there that I get a little crazy with. Not that it's going to hurt anything, but I like to be sure that everything is clean and goes together properly. Alright. Rotor. Hope you can see that, probably. Put the outer bearing in, like so. Rest the washer on there. I think that was the side that was against the old one. The old bearing. And a flat side is right there. Or not the flat side, but the what do you call it? The groove that the washer has to go into so it doesn't spin. And just gently guide this onto the spindle. Come on, I thought it was lined up. There we go. Ah, nice. Okay. Now we got grease all over the threads again. Wipe it off a little bit. And one thing I didn't bring home with me today for the weekend, I was doing this, was new cotter pins. So we'll put the cotter pins and dust caps on at a later date. I just wanted to get this going here. This nut doesn't feel the best going on, but it's what we have to work with. That's too late. Back that off to the hole for the cotter pin, which I promptly lost. What's over there? Is that where it was before? That's good. Okay. So put a cotter pin in there, pack that full of grease, put the dust cap on when I have cotter pins. I might have some though. Let me go look. I take it back. I found cotter pins. Now, this one looks like it's too big. Oh, yeah. That's the wrong size. Thankfully, the next two I have are skinnier. Yeah, that's a good fit right there. Save that one for the other side. Lost the rag I was using. Put you in there. Bend you around like so. And then hit the tip. That's all way over there now. She's long gone. Okay. Now, not using these old nasty dented destroyed dust caps. If you can see that, that's pretty well hammered. We'll these new ones here, a little too shiny. They didn't really match. I'll probably paint them black to go with the wheels. But first, let's put some grease in there. So let's get another set of gloves absolutely destroyed. Good. A little bit down there. All right. Well, I just made a mess with this grease. That's okay. Now for the dust cap, I don't want to dent it. Let me see if I have a nice brass hammer I can use. Gently install it. Oh yeah, the little baby hammer. Beautiful. Nice spin to her. All right, let's grab some pads and a caliper. I think we're ready for the next step. I'd forgotten I was going to paint these, which I did in the past few minutes. That the video was paused, but you didn't notice because you weren't in here. I just coated them with some clear Rust-Oleum to keep the silver color intact, make sure it looks nice for years to come. So we got our pads installed in our caliper. Just gonna fight to get this over the hump here. There we go. There we go. Alright, grab our pins. Just a little bit of lube on them, not too much. There we go. Just fight through it. Make those threads work for you. Alright. A little bit of lube where we're going to need it. brakes are done, except for lines and hoses, of course, and fluid, and a master cylinder, and a booster, and a brake pedal, and everything else over there. So let's move on to the brake lines next. So remove the old brake line from this bracket. Install the new brake line in this bracket and take off this crap too. And save these clips. I need these clips. How shaky is the video right now? Pretty shaky probably. So I need to save these. Don't have those. This looks like it's all rounded off, like someone already tried to do this. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Alright, see if we'll get the right tools for that. Oh boy. Nope, that's just rounding it off. So either we cut it, just take the nut off, or keep screwing with it. Seeing as though I don't care about it, I'm probably just going to cut it. So how do you want to go about this brake line? We're screwing with this one. Why don't we? Okay, new brake line on the floor. This one's not rounded off as bad. Let's try this one first. Keep the clip in there this time. The rear wheel cylinder lines and center brake T came apart so nicely. This stuff does not want to. Amazon's here. Oh yeah, we're just gonna cut this off. We're just gonna cut ya. We don't need ya. We just want your clips. Can I have your clips? Got your other clip. I just need to keep this general brake hose. That's over there now. The bends and all this, I need to match it up with the new brake line because it's not bent 100% like it should be. Be touching that up later. Oopsie. See if we can get this in there. Actually, doesn't matter where I cut it, but here's where it's the least protected thing. Or you know what? I just want this bracket back. I'm just gonna do that. There we go. Bracket off. Okay. Junk. Kind of do the same thing with this one. Yeah. Here we go. Junk and bracket secured. putting a bit of paint on those, make them look nice. Should probably save this thing. This could come in handy. Pretty nice shape. Rubber's not all cracked or rotted away. Oh, there's a string in there. So we'll save that too. Alright, we'll clean these up. Paint them all nice so they match the rest of the frame. Worry about that too. Touch that up. Get the other bracket as well. This little thing here. If I even end up using it, I probably will. Just keep the hoses separated, the lines separated. Right hand 6264042. You got a part number on you? There's some dirt on you. Paint's flaking off. No part number on you, huh? Okay. Interesting. Alright. Painting time. Okay, while those brackets dry, I unkinked the rear to front line. Lined it up next to the old brake and fuel line. Just need to remove all those little clamps. Give a bit of paint to those. And then you can run this line under the car and mount it to the rear axle hose and run it all the way up here. That goes to the proportioning valve as well. Well, I found that clip that went shooting off into Narnia. Put on my stainless steel brake hose kit. Didn't tighten everything down yet. Ran this line across the subframe to the other side. To that side, where the proportioning valve goes. Ran that hose down to that caliper as well. Again, not tightened down yet, just all finger tight. These hoses don't fit quite right. The banjo bolt didn't fit through the end of the line, so I had to make a little customization. Also to put the steering lower column on so I could turn the wheels so I can get at the back of the caliper a little better. Once I had it all together, make sure the hoses weren't stretched too far, which they're not. They fit just fine. So now I just need to run the rear line up to the front. Kind of just have it all end up here. So once I do get a braking system figured out, I'll have it all ready to go, line-wise anyway. And then I gotta run a fuel line to the front, to the back, once I figure out what kind of fuel system I'm gonna use. And then this all has to come off because I'm going to be putting an engine and transmission in that hole there. And I know exactly which engine and transmission I'm going to use in this car.